The truth is simple but terrifying. The past is starting to change, and only Brianna can see it happening. As shadows move across to different centuries, a single clue slips through time, one that points straight to her. And if she ignores it, the world her family fought for may vanish before as strange things always seem to happen around the Fraser and Mackenzie family. But this time the danger does not come with a sword, a soldier, or a war. It starts quietly. Brianna wakes up one morning in the 20th century and feels something is wrong. Even though everything around her looks normal, the house is the same. The light is the same. The world is the same. But deep inside, she knows something important just shifted. She tries to brush it off, but then she notices the first sign, a picture on the wall that she knows never existed before. It shows Claire and Jamie standing in front of a house Brianna has never seen. Their clothes look old, older than the 18th century she remembers. And the strangest part, their faces seem worried, as if they knew the moment the picture would be found. At first she tells herself it must be a mistake. Maybe she forgot the photo. Maybe Roger added it without telling her. But when she asks him, he looks confused. He does not remember the picture. He swears he has never seen that house. And that is when fear creeps in the quiet. It's a heavy kind that sits in the chest and refuses to leave. Throughout the day, more small changes appear. A book on the shelf that was once blank now carries a message written on the inside cover. A word, a name. One Brianna has not heard in years. The handwriting looks old, rushed, like someone wrote it in a hurry. But the ink is fresh. Too fresh, and when she touches it, it smudges on her fingertips. By evening, the fear inside her is no longer silent. Something is happening to the timeline. Something is reaching across centuries, twisting pieces of her life and leaving clues she cannot ignore. Brianna has always been strong, logical, and steady. But logic cannot explain a photo that should not exist, a message from someone long gone, with a sharp feeling that time itself is calling her name. She understands one thing clearly: a mystery has begun, and she is the only one who can solve it. Re her eyes. The second sign does not come as a sound or a sudden vision. It comes as a feeling, sharp, cold, and strangely familiar. Brianna is in the workshop behind her house, sorting tools the kids left scattered around, when she notices an old metal box sitting on the table. She knows every tool, every screw, every wire she keeps, but this box, she has never seen it before. It looks worn, scraped by time, as if it has traveled farther than any person ever could. With slow hands, she opens it. Inside lies a folded piece of paper, yellowed at the edges. The paper smells like smoke and rain, the kind of smell that belongs to a world she left behind years ago. She unfolds it carefully, half afraid it will crumble. But the moment she sees the handwriting, her heart stops. It is her mother's script, Claire's handwriting. Soft, curved, gently yet trembling, like she wrote it under fear. At first, the words make no sense. They feel broken, like pieces of a puzzle ripped from different times. Some lines are clear. Others fade in and out, as if the ink is fighting to stay alive. But one sentence cuts straight through the confusion and sends a chill running down Brianna's spine. Bri, the past is not the same anymore. She whispers the words aloud, barely hearing her own voice. Claire should not be able to send a message through time. There is no device, no stone, no known way for paper to slip through centuries on its own. But this message is real too real. And when she turns the paper over, she finds a drawing on the back. A symbol she remembers from childhood stories. A mark she once thought was nothing more than legend. A circle broken by a single line. The sign of a traveler. Suddenly the air in the room feels heavier, as if someone was standing just behind her a moment ago, and vanished the instant she turned. The shadows look longer, darker, and the message in her hand feels like it is pulsing alive with a truth she has not yet understood. Brianna knows this is not just a warning. It is not just a clue. It is a cry for help. A message thrown across time. A sign that the world she thought was stable is beginning to bend, twist, and rewrite itself. And whoever sent this message did it because only she can read it. If you'd like, I can continue with Section 3 in the same intense cinematic style. The next morning, Brianna cannot shake the feeling that the world is watching her. Not people, not eyes, but time itself. Every ticking second seems louder. Every shadow seems longer. And the message from Claire feels heavier in her pocket, as if it's pulling her toward something she does not yet see. She decides to search the house again, not for danger, but for patterns, clues, anything that connects the strange photo, the smudged handwriting, and the impossible letter from her mother. She moves through each room slowly, tracing her fingers along shelves, frames, and books. Everything seems normal until she reaches the attic. The moment she pushes the door open, the air shifts. It feels colder, like the attic has been waiting for her. She steps inside. Dust floats in the sunlight like tiny sparks. Old boxes, childhood toys, forgotten furniture, everything exactly where it should be. But then something catches her eye. A small wooden chest, half buried under a blanket. The chest is carved with the same symbol from Claire's letter, the broken circle. Her breath catches. She's seen that symbol only twice before. Once in stories Roger told her, and once in the eyes of someone she wished she had never met. With steady but tense hands, she opens the chest. Inside is a torn piece of tartan cloth, old enough to belong to someone from Jamie's time. Pressed beneath it lies a modern object, something that should not exist with it. A metal badge. Cold, heavy, and marked with a date from the 20th century. Two objects from two different worlds. Placed together with purpose, as she lifts them, something strange happens. The tartan warms in her hand, while the badge turns painfully cold. It feels like the two pieces are reacting to each other, as if time itself is arguing about where they belong. Then she sees something etched into the metal. Not a name, not a number, but a place, Lallybroch. Location that should belong only to the past. Brianna's pulse quickens. Why would a modern badge carry the name of her family's ancestral home? Why pair it with a piece of cloth from another century? And who placed this chest in her attic without leaving a single trace? As she stares at the two objects, a realization hits her with the force of a storm. Someone is sending her clues from both time periods. Someone who knows she is the bridge between them. These items are not random. They are part of a larger message. A trail meant only for her, a trail that leads straight to a mystery no one else can even see. If you want, I can continue with Section 4 in an even more intense, cinematic style. That night, Brianna lies awake, staring at the ceiling as the house settles into silence, but her mind refuses to rest. Every clue feels like a whisper from another century. Every detail, Claire's trembling handwriting. The attic chest. The badge stamped with Lallybroch points to one truth she can no longer ignore. The past is trying to reach her, and it is becoming louder. She gets up quietly, careful not to wake Roger or the kids, and steps into the hallway. The house is dark, but something about the air feels charged. Like a storm is brewing inside the walls. As she moves toward the staircase, a faint sound stops her mid-step. Not footsteps, not wind. A voice, soft, distant, calling her name, Bree. Her body freezes. The voice is familiar, so familiar that her chest tightens. It is the kind of voice she once heard through smoke and fear, through heartbreak and hope. But hearing it here, in the quiet of her modern home, it's impossible. It sounds like Jamie. She takes a slow breath and follows the sound downstairs, each step feeling heavier than the last. The living room is dark, lit only by the moon pressing through the window. And on the floor, lying perfectly centered on the rug, something she knows she did not leave there. A sheet, paper, old, crumpled, burned along the edges. She kneels and picks it up. The paper trembles in her hands, not from fear, but from something else like it. Vibrates with a memory she doesn't have yet. When she unfolds it, her breath catches in her throat. It's a sketch, a rough pencil drawing of Lallybroch, but not the version she remembers visiting. This one looks broken, abandoned. The windows are smashed, the doors ripped from their hinges. Smoke rises from the roof, curling like dark fingers into the sky. At the bottom of the sketch, written in messy, hurried strokes, are 2 words: not safe. Runs through her. This is not a warning. This is a plea. She looks closer and notices something faint in the corner of the page, a thumbprint smudged in charcoal. Not Claire's, not hers. Bigger, rougher. As if it belonged to someone who worked with tools, weapons. War. Someone like Jamie. Her heart aches. Her mind races. If this image is real, if this destruction is a moment from the past, it means something terrible is coming. Something that shouldn't happen. Something that threatens not just history, but her family's very existence. She closes her eyes and whispers to the empty room. As if the voice might hear her across centuries, I'm coming. I'll find out what this means. When she opens her eyes, the sketch still burns in her hands. And she understands the truth. The past is no longer waiting for her to return. It is calling for her. And if she does not answer soon, it may disappear forever. The next day, Brianna tries to act normal. She makes breakfast for the kids, talks to Roger about errands, and pretends nothing is wrong. But behind every smile is a knot tightening slowly in her chest. She can't stop thinking about the sketch, the voice, the burned edges, the warning, not safe. She keeps the drawing hidden in her jacket pocket, close to her body, as if warmth might reveal new answers, but instead something much stranger happens. When she touches the paper, even through the fabric, the world around her seems to flicker just for a second, like a light about to burn out. A moment too fast to notice. Unless she's looking for it, and she is, by afternoon. The cracks in her reality grow sharper. The first sign comes when she drives past the old church on the hill. She's passed that place 1,000 times, but today something is wrong. The church bell tower looks different, shorter, damaged, as if burned long ago. Yet when she blinks, it stands whole again, untouched. 2 versions. 2 timelines. Fighting for space, the second sign is even worse. She stops at the store, and the cashier greets her with a warm smile. But as she hands over her groceries, Brianna notices a small detail that shouldn't be possible. The date printed on the receipt is 1 day ahead. Tomorrow's date. When she looks up, the cashier's face flickers just for a breath into someone else entirely. A face from the past. A woman she saw once in a village near Lallybroch. A woman who shouldn't exist in this century. Brianna stumbles backward, nearly dropping the bag. She blinks hard, and the woman is gone. The cashier stands there again, confused by her reaction. Reality snaps back into place, but Brianna knows now that it's not stable. Something is leaking through time. Something is bending the world around her. And it's getting worse later as she drives home. The final sign hits her like a blow to the chest. The road bends around a field she's always known. Green, peaceful, untouched. But today, for one terrifying second, she sees something else overlaying the grass. A battlefield. Smoke rising. Men running. Flashes of steel. The echo of drums from a century she has never lived in but carries in her blood. It vanishes almost instantly. But the message is clear. The past is no longer behind her. The future is no longer ahead. Both are twisting, merging, tearing at each other, and she is standing directly in the center by the time Brianna reaches home. Her hands are trembling around the steering wheel. She sits there for a long moment, breathing through the fear, trying to steady herself. This is no longer just clues. No longer hints. No longer whispers from another time. This is a collapse. And the most terrifying part is the truth, settling in her chest. Time is breaking because someone is forcing it to. And they are leaving messages only she can see. By nightfall, Brianna knows she can't face this alone, not anymore. She waits until the house quiets and the kids are asleep. Then slips into her workshop with the sketch, the tartan cloth, and the metal badge. She places them on her workbench under the lamp's warm glow, hoping that seeing everything together might form a pattern she missed before. But something else catches her eye first. Not an object, not a sound. A flicker subtle and quicker playing across. The surface of the table like heat rising from fire. She leans in closer. The badge begins to vibrate gently, as if responding to the closeness of the tartan. The cloth, old, worn, soft from another century, moves as though an invisible breeze is passing through it. She steps back, her breath caught in her throat. They are reacting to each other. Not because they belong together, but because time is trying to separate them. Suddenly, a faint line of light appears between the two items. Not bright, not sharp, but unmistakably there. A thin, glowing crack, pulsing softly like a heartbeat. Brianna stares at it, unable to look away. It feels alive, like a thread that stretches across centuries, connecting this moment to something deeper, older, more dangerous. For a moment, she wonders if she's imagining it. But then the thread pulses harder, and a sound breaks through the silence. A whisper. Faint, muffled, but real. Find the mark. The words bleed into the room like smoke, making her skin prickle. She scans the items again, desperate to understand. And then she sees that the badge isn't just stamped with the name Lallybroch. So along its edge, hidden so cleverly she almost missed it, is a tiny engraving. A symbol carved lightly into the metal. A mark. The same broken circle drawn on Claire's letter. The sign of a traveler. Her heartbeat quickens. This symbol isn't random. It isn't decorative. It is a message, a map left for her by someone who understands how time works. Someone who knows she is the only one who can decipher it. Brianna's mind races back to the stories she grew up hearing. Travelers who moved through the stones. People who left signs and symbols behind to guide others. Some harmless. Some dangerous. And some powerful enough to reshape entire timelines. If someone who bears this mark has returned, or worse, escaped, then the collapse she has been seeing isn't accidental. It's deliberate. Her breath shakes as she runs her fingers over the engraved circle. The moment she touches it, a jolt flashes through her images, flickering in her mind like torn photographs. A dark forest, a burning torch, a stone archway, a man standing in shadow, watching her with unreadable eyes. She jerks her hand back, heart pounding. She doesn't know him, but he knows her. The thread of light fades. The symbols go still. The room returns to silence. But everything inside. Brianna has changed. Someone has tied her future to the past with a thread only she can follow. Someone is leaving signs so she will find them. Someone wants her to walk toward the danger. And now she finally understands. This is not just a mystery. This is a warning, and it is pointing her toward a traveler who should not exist. The house is silent when Brianna steps outside, clutching the badge, the tartan, and the burned sketch. The night air is cold, but it feels clearer than the world inside, less distorted, less fragile. She stands on the porch, breathing slowly, trying to calm the storm in her mind. But something inside her has already shifted. She knows what she must do, even if she's terrified of where it will lead. The clues aren't random. The symbols aren't accidents. The visions aren't illusions. Someone is breaking the rules of time, pulling moments from different centuries and forcing them into her life, not to frighten her, not to haunt her, but to force her toward one single, unavoidable decision. She looks down at the 3 objects in her hands, 3 messages from 3 different points in history. 3 warnings that all lead to one place, Lallybroch. The past is collapsing. And the first fracture begins there. Her throat tightens as she thinks of her family. Jemmy, Mandy, the safe life they built in the 20th century. The comfortable routine of school, work, laughter, and quiet nights. If she steps through the stones again, everything will change. She may not return the same. She may not return at all, but the truth is cruel if she does nothing. The future she's trying to protect might vanish anyway. The porch light flickers. For a split second, the world around her, warp streets bending, sky darkening, the air trembling like a held breath. She sees the battlefield again, the burning house. A shadowed figure turning toward her, and she hears him. Clear, strong, her father's voice cutting through time like lightning. "Bree, hurry." Every fear inside her breaks open. Every doubt dissolves. The voice she thought she'd lost forever reaches across centuries and anchors itself in her heart. She steps back inside and kneels beside her children's door. She watches them sleep, memorizing their faces, the rise and fall of their breaths. She whispers a promise to them, not one of safety, but one of strength. "I'm going to fix this. For all of us," she rises, determined. The stones have always taken something from her: time, peace, certainty. But today, they are calling her with purpose. She gathers the clues into a small leather bag, ties it shut, and walks out the door without looking back, because she finally understands. The truth: this mystery was never meant for Claire. Not for Jamie, not for Roger. It was meant for her. She is the bridge between centuries. The key the past has been waiting for. The only one who can confront the traveler twisting time out of shape. And with every step she takes toward the stones, she knows Brianna Fraser isn't just going back to save the past. She's going back to save the future. The air around her crackles. The stones begin to hum. The world tilts. And as she reaches out her hand, the final thought echoes through her.